Hi, this is Sculpt January number 14, and this time the category was Magic, and I chose to do a unicorn. I kind of fancied doing a horse anyway, just for the sort of muscular structure and things, because they look quite fantastic animals, and they've got that sort of defined structure, so I thought that might be quite fun. So unicorn kind of made sense. I'm doing this with a different workflow. This time, to make sure I get the body shape right, I'm just outlining the shape of a horse and doing sort of a low poly version. Then I'm using the multi-resolution modifier to sculpt this time, rather than Dyn Topo. It's quite a good workflow because you can end up with quite a nice topology once you've finished, and you don't need to decimate at the end of the mesh because you just use the lower polyed version. So I spend quite a lot of time, as per usual, making sure that I've got the shape right. So I'm still very low detail, of course, and there's no real sculpting happening yet. I thought I might as well get the shape right with the low poly version. It's also quite good not to have to retopologize if you want to rig your models, because the decimation can often cause strange stretching across your mesh. One of the tools that I like to use is the smooth vertex tool. So when you've got a very sort of blocky, square shaped low poly object, you can use the smooth vertex by grabbing lots of vertices and smoothing them out. It creates sort of curves. And I've got lots of reference images, and I stop occasionally and search for a new one. So I was searching for a top view of a horse, a front view, the horse's face close up, the horse's hooves close up, so all those sort of things. And you can see I've started the multi-resolution modifier now. Not too many subdivisions to start off with, just 2. And the quite nice thing about the multi-resolution modifier is you can go back to your lower subdivisions and add in topology. The only thing when you do that and you go back to the higher version, you sometimes have to smooth things out a bit. The tricky bit when you're tracing around a mesh is obviously the other angles. So if you've got a nice reference image and it's a side view, getting the front view right and the back view right takes a bit of time. Unless you've got a really nice character sheet which has got front and side views as well. It's much faster when you've got character sheets and you can just trace around them. So I'm on a subdivision level of 3 now, I think, and I'm just going back to my reference image and pulling the mesh out, making sure I'm still within the boundaries, because when you go up a resolution sometimes it can smooth it out a bit and you can lose your shape slightly. And you can see the unicorn's horn needed smoothing out a fair bit on the higher resolution. So it was nice to get along to the more detailed aspects quickly. This sculpt took about 2.5 to 3 hours. So they're kind of getting quicker. It often depends what I'm doing. I got caught out a bit doing the cavity bake. It just wouldn't bake for some reason and saying there was circular references. But I realised that I'd made a slight mistake and put the ray distance up, which I don't think you can do for a cavity bake, I've found out now. I'm also using the Met cap here. Some people have said they find it easier to see what I'm sculpting, in time-lapse especially, so I thought I'd go across to that. It is slightly more processor intensive apparently on your graphics card. But in this case on the resolution it seems to be fine. I think it's a good idea to switch between different met caps when you're sculpting, because I noticed that I thought I wasn't going as creased sometimes as I was, and then I'd view it on a different met cap or go back to the normal shading mode and notice that my shape looked a bit too muscly. You probably noticed that I haven't got a mane on my finished unicorn. I just kind of ran out of time. I didn't want to spend another few hours doing it, and it was just another complication. Might go back to this model and do it again actually, because it's a nice one for rigging. In my final rig as well, the weight painting was all automatic, so I should really do proper weight painting so that things don't deform in the wrong ways. You can probably see that the stomach sticks out a bit because there weren't bones holding it together, or weren't the right bones holding it together because they're just automatic weights. I'm still on subdivision level of 3 at the moment. I mean, that will vary depending on how high poly your mesh is, and now I'm up to I think 5, so I've sort of jumped a few just to do the finer detail, a few veins and things like that, and just some detail in the eyes. I'm quite pleased with how it came out. I think animals are a little bit easier than humans, just because we look at people all the time, so we know exactly when there's something wrong, and animals you can kind of get away with things really. I did have anatomical pictures of horses as well to try and help me. Here I am doing the tail, but I'm rushing at this point. I probably do need to practice things like tails and hair and things like that, because it's not something I sculpt often. Some people have really clever ways of doing them, and especially looking at some of the stuff on Sculpt January on the forums, some people manage to do it very well. And you can see I'm experimenting a bit here, didn't work, so scrap that out, do it again, and then I thought I've got to do a mane as well, so I'll just miss that out for now and come back to it later. So here I'm doing the rig. I actually looked at some reference images for this as well, horse rigging. I put some extra bones in the middle to try and sort out the automatic weighting, so it would sort of have some bones to move around the stomach and the chest. But it didn't really work so well, and I actually removed those later. Had a slight trickiness here as well because I had 2 different objects and I only wanted one map for the ambient occlusion and cavity and normals. So I combined them, unwrapped them, and then separated them, and then they're all on one map. But what I actually did in the end, I baked them all and then separated them so I can use the same texture for both the tail and the body. You can't have overlapping meshes when you're rigging, so if I join the tail to the horse without doing a sort of Boolean operation, I would come up with errors, and I found that the other day. It took me a long time to sort out. So here I'm posing the horse, but you can see I'm having trouble with the tummy and the chest. It sort of looks a bit bulbous. It kind of works, and then I'm pulling it around, but obviously that affects the normal map a bit and the ambient occlusion, and it didn't quite work. It was close, but didn't quite work. But I did want to pose it because that's sort of part of the magic, I suppose, isn't it? And here, lining up the textures as per usual, and I tried a few things, but the metallic one seemed to work the best. And a very basic base, just because it seems to sort of plant it and anchor it to the floor. And of course some magical 3-point lighting. I like to do 3-point lighting with 3 different colours. It seems to make the metal look more interesting. And you can see I've actually applied the armature this time and then done a tiny bit of sculpting to sort it out, but because the normal maps were slightly distorted, it didn't help that much. So there we have it, number 14, Magic, and there's my unicorn. Hope you're enjoying it. Thank you again for all the comments. It really is fantastic to receive feedback, good or bad. I appreciate it. So thank you again, and the links are in the description, so get along to Sculpt January. Try it out. Doesn't have to be 3 or 4 hours, it can just be 30 minutes. It will help you improve, I guarantee it. I'll see you there.